Hiya, Dan.
Right.
Yeah, not too bad. Dan, how much have you enjoyed the season so far?
Yeah, a lot better than last year, isn't it?
For sure, yeah.
No, it's been good. Obviously, feels like from pre-season it's been a fresh start. We started off down St Helens, and obviously with the new coaches coming in, bringing in a new setup, and Brock coming in, and obviously the good coaches we got here. No, I've been enjoying it, and it's been nice to actually. We've worked hard, and every team works hard in pre-season, but to actually have that transfer from what we're doing in training onto the field, and we're getting results. So no, it's been good, and I've had consistent game time as well, which is has helped my game as well. So no, I think we're in a good place.
Do you believe, Dan, that you're playing as well as you've ever played? I'm thinking, crikey, the 2012 campaign when you were Six Nations Player of the Year. Are you playing at that level now?
If I ask myself that, I think I'm better than the player I was then. That's sort of a long time ago, and the game changes a lot since then. And you've got to develop as a player. But I'm not trying to compare myself to any other back row out there. I'm just trying to be the best version of me, and I feel good at the minute. So yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying playing rugby, especially with the boys and how we're playing now, and we're winning games. When you're winning, you've got smiles on faces. It's a lot easier to come into work on a Monday morning after a win than having a sort of battering, even if your body's pretty sore. If you've got the wind behind your belt, it feels a bit less sore on the Monday morning rolling up to work.
Do you still sort of harbour Wales ambitions?
Yeah, I think for when you play in the game, you want to be the best, like I said, best version of yourself, and you want to play at the highest level. If Wales sort of come calling, I'm definitely up for that. But if they don't, and they go with different players, then that's out of my control. But I still want to be the best number 6, best version of me that there is for when I'm playing the game. That's always the way I've been. So a lot of it's out of my control, but I just can concentrate on doing a good job for the Ospreys. And yeah, like I said, the biggest thing is enjoying what I'm doing, and we're going good at the minute.
Well, just digressing a little bit, what's been behind the upturn then at the Ospreys this season generally?
Well, obviously, Toby got appointed at the end of last season, and he come in and he's pretty uncompromising. He calls a spade, which I really like, and we know what we're expected as players to give, and he's given us that direction. I can't fault the effort from the boys from last season, because we always put our hands up, but he's come in and he knows how he wants to play, and it was up to us to get on board as quickly as we can. Obviously, we're not the finished article yet, and it's going to probably take all of this season and into next season to be bang on the money where we want to play. But it's the same with anything with new and changes. It's going to take time. But yeah, he's given us direction. We've got obviously new attack coach, and obviously the good coaches we've got here with Fussell, with Richie Pugh, with Dunk. So yeah, and obviously all the backroom stuff that people don't see as well, the conditioners and physio department and all the backroom stuff as well. So yeah, it's been a lot of change, but as the results went last year, it was much needed. But there's a lot of competition for places within the squad. There's a lot of youngsters which had a chance last year through boys being away with the World Cup and injuries and the like. And there's been a big progression in them, so they're obviously pushing some of us players halfway through our career. But yeah, it's there's a lot. We just train now, and at the end of the session, Tips just said how much competition there is for places, and each session is not like a trial match, but you can see there's a bit of niggle, and there's really pushing the boundaries of each other, and that can only drive competition and drive the best for the Ospreys.
He rotates people, does Toby, doesn't he? And he gave you the weekend off last week. He gave Justin the weekend off as well. And how keen is that competition?
Yeah, you're always sort of when teams announce, you're always like, oh, what's it going to be this week? It keeps everyone on his toes, and yeah, he gave me a rest last week from playing, which was nice. But at the same time, you're always you watch the game, and you're hoping the boy that takes your position doesn't play as have an absolute barnstormer. So no, it's good because everyone's that's training well. He's given a chance, and there's opportunities there, and it like I said, there's not in training as and then, you know, the boys that are starting and the boys that are prepping the team. If the boys putting their hand up in training, Toby's given them a chance, and like I said, it's really driving competition, and the standards going up and up, and hopefully we're getting that transfer onto the field. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, and you know, a couple of results that haven't gone our way this year, but you know, it's them building blocks to get back to where the Ospreys were in the past.
Yeah, last one from me, really. You talk about competition there. A blindside flanker, you got a young lad, Will Griffiths, coming through.
Yeah.
How much of a prospect is he? People don't hear much about him, do they? Really, outside the Ospreys, but he is a decent player.
Oh, he's a hell of a rugby player, to be honest. He's sort of 6/second row, but he's found his feet at 6. Real good line out operator, just a real good rugby player, and he's real humble and works hard. So there's a good batch of youngsters, not only him. You know, there's Morgan Morris in the back row, and there's other youngsters as well that are really sort of standing up now and getting a lot of game time. So you just imagine where them players are going to be 4 or 5 years time. It's no, it's exciting to be a part of.
Brilliant, thanks.
Dan, can I just ask you a bit more about Toby? Obviously, he came to the Ospreys, he had a very successful coaching career in the Premiership in England. Can you just elaborate a bit more on, you know, how impressed you've been with him and what sort of stands him out as obviously a high-class coach?
Yeah, like I said, first and foremost, he come in and, you know, it's sort of forgetting what's sort of happened, drawing a line in the sand. It was a fresh start, and he's got a way of playing that we all needed to get on board, and it takes learning. And like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but you know, we're moving in the right direction, and he's constantly pushing every player in this group. So, you know, from your top internationals, Tipperick and Alan Wynne, he's pushing them, and he's pushing the bottom boys. And so it's not always a case where you can move the squad on because of the boy that's holding everyone back. He's telling the boys at the back, we're just going to keep going. So you just got to hang on in there. And if you don't, you're moving away, like moving back down to the academy and stuff like that. So, like I say, he's just driving the competition and testing everyone. He's testing me all the time, which is a good thing. And you need to be tested. You can't sort of just be happy and do the sort of the same thing all the time. So he's thinking outside the box, but he's certainly been a breath of fresh air here, and he's got some good ideas. But hopefully, this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg going forward.
And can I just ask you on Alan Wynne, how big a role he's been playing during his rehab? I imagine he's been quite vocal around the place, has he?
Yeah, Alan Wynne's Alan Wynne. If you asked him today, how's he feeling, he'll say he's ready to play tomorrow. That's just the man. But no, I think by all accounts he's going well with his progress. But it's obviously it's different in the environment at the minute with obviously COVID and stuff. We have to be careful how we're sort of mixing in our mini groups and the sort of injured boys. So it's sort of ships in the nights where you pass and, you know, have a few words, but we're trying to limit the contact with the sort of the medical staff, and they're very cautious down here how we're mixing, because we don't want to be missing out on games because of COVID cases, and it's inevitable it's going to happen, but we're trying to limit that. But you know, obviously Al's around the place. He's a massive sort of character in our squad. So you know, I seen him out running, and he looks in pretty good shape at the minute. And it's good to see him bouncing around. And you know, the conversations I've had with him, he's sort of a bundle of energy. I think he's very desperate to get back. So yeah, I guess just watch his space for when he returns. But no, I think he's in good spirits.
Dan, can I just ask you? I mean, you want to run a 5 out of 6 games, winning. You know, you look like you might have had a break now for about a month. But if you get a game next weekend, how much would you welcome that? Because you've got a bit of momentum behind you, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously we want to play. With some of the boys that have gone week in, week out, they get a chance to freshen up this weekend. But yeah, if there's a game next week, we'll sort of rub our hands together because we want to play. No one really wants downtime in rugby for an extended period of time. It's all right having the odd week off, but you want, like you said, we want to keep momentum going while we're sort of on a roll. But we'll cross that bridge. Whoever we're coming up against, touch wood, we'll get a game next week. It'd be good to have another run out.
And as a player, Dan, how much of a privilege is it to be playing in these times when a lot of the country's locked down? What you can give to the country, being able to go to work in very different circumstances than you used to, but to be able to still be playing at the moment.
Oh no, we're in a very privileged position. There's a lot of people struggling out there in businesses, and for us to still be in our jobs and still active in our jobs, it's we count our blessings really. Just hope that we can get back to sort of normal as soon as possible. But we're conscious of what's going on out there, and we have to be sort of vigilant and careful of how we're acting, not just in the environment but away from the environment, because we don't want to obviously put our families and friends at risk, but even other players as well. So yeah, it's obviously tough. It's tough out there for everyone, but we've got to just sort of stick in there together, and hopefully it'll pass sooner rather than later.
You've played a lot of rugby with George North over the years, and I guess you've also had to tackle him at times in the opposition. Could you just assess? He looks like he's really firing on all cylinders the last couple of games. How's he look?
Yeah, he's been on fire, to be fair, and no, he's playing with a smile on his face. So it's good to see. He's probably had his fair share of criticism, but you don't get 90-odd test caps for Wales for being a rubbish player and obviously going on 2 Lions tours. So now you can see he's very hungry at the minute, and that's a testament to himself, because you could have a player that's done that much in the game could just kick back, feet up, and just sort of ride out his career, ride out into the sunset, as they say. But he's hungry, and he's helping a lot of the youngsters now, which is a change in George that I've seen over the last sort of year, where he is that established sort of old head, even though he's still a young man. But he's been on the top of his game for 10 years now. So he's trying to pass that knowledge on, which can only be good for the Ospreys going forward. But as you see, he's tearing up at the minute. And the big thing with George is we want to get him on the ball as often as we can. And if the ball's not coming to him, he's coming looking for it, and he's such a threat with ball in hand, and he's getting quite a few turnovers as well in defence. So no, it's good to see, and there's a couple of other kids as well, like Prothero's been firing, Lukey Morgs and Dan Ev. So like I said, there's that competition. There's 4 players just there that are pushing each other in training all the time.